Welcome to episode 12 of Ready Steady Read. So welcome to episode 12 of Ready Steady Read. Thank you for joining me on the journey so far. If you haven't done so already, then please click the subscribe button, which is just at the bottom of the page just here. And also make sure you click the notification button, which is the form of the bell, just to let you know when new videos go up on our YouTube channel. So you may have noticed that today we're in a totally different setting. I'm actually currently away on holiday in Cornwall. I'm in a lovely little village called Bude. We've got some gorgeous surroundings just here, and you may be able to see the Cornish coastline just in the background there. And I thought that I would make this a short video today, just a video really to let you know the sort of books that I'm reading whilst I'm away on holiday. So as a rule, recently I've not been taking away books on holiday with me. I tend to have a look at a lot of stuff on my phone and on my iPad. A lot of the time obviously on holidays taken up doing other activities. Today, for example, we've been to Tintagel Castle, we've seen the Wizard Merlin's cave, so really quite a busy time, but there is a point in the evening where I do get to chill out and relax, maybe take out a deck of cards or some coins or whatever, and actually have a look at some of the books that I've brought on holiday with me. Like I said, it's very rare that I actually bring physical books away on holiday with me. The last time I did it was Here Is Real Magic, I believe, which, as some of you know, isn't actually a magic book. It's a book that's written by a magician. However, I did actually bring some books along with me on holiday this time. So there's actually 3 books that I brought away on holiday with me. In the short time that we're here, I doubt that I'll get to read even or scratch the surface of any of them really, but I just wanted to talk about this first book here. This is The Magic of Ascanio. This is actually the first book in the series. I own 3 of these books. I don't own the last one, which is on the colour changing knives, but I do own the other 3. This particular book, I'm actually about halfway through. I have borrowed copies of these before and had a look through them, but in actual fact it wasn't until recently that I owned a set, and you know, they're classic books. Lots of top flight magicians such as Juan Tamaritz, Michael Vincent, and various other names. You know, they rave about these set of books, and for good reason as well. This really does lay in a lot of the structure of magic. Each of the books is written from a different approach to magic, certainly card magic. As far as I'm aware, like I said, I've only just started reading this or rereading it, because it's a long time ago since I first read the copies that I borrowed. This has no actual tricks in it at all. This is really to do with conceptual theories. As I'm sure a lot of you will know, the Ascanio series is very heavy on theory, and that's great. You know, it makes you think about magic. I've often said this about some of the other books that I've talked about. You know, it gets you to think about the sort of things that makes the magic that you're performing strong. So if you haven't checked it out already, and I will do a more in-depth review of these a little bit further along, then I recommend that you check out The Magic of Ascanio. So the second book that I've taken on holiday with me is Labyrinth, a Journal of Close-Up Magic by Stephen Hobbs. So these were a set of newsletters that were released. I forget the years that they were released in. I think it was around about the early 80s, but various contributors to the magazine. Stephen Hobbs is a fantastic magician in his own right, an awesome author. You may be familiar with the authoring of G Maze in the Art of Bottom Dealing, for example. He recently had, and I say recently, I think it was a few years ago now, he had something called the Technical Toolbox, which he was running as a series of weekly courses, basically focusing on different aspects of sleight of hand, different effects, and lots of different facets of magic, and that run for an entire year. You didn't have to pay for it. It was something that you could go and do totally free. As I understand, Vanishing Ink then took this and made it into a set of DVDs which you can still get hold of, to my knowledge, and it's fantastic. It really is. So Stephen Hobbs spearheaded that. There are videotapes there are videos of him on these weekly courses, and they weren't just 15-minute segments. They were up to around about an hour, if not more. So really, seriously worth checking out. Like I said, you can't do it via the internet now. You have to do it on the DVD set that was made. So well worth checking out the technical toolbox. So Stephen Hobbs was a compiler and editor of Labyrinth magazine, and like I said, this was a journal of close-up magic. I'm just going to hold this up here so you should be able to see the way that it's laid out, and this is broken up into segments. So what I mean by that is, because it's a magazine, obviously you have issues, so number 1, issue 2, issue 3, etc. And there's some brilliant stuff in here by lots of different magicians. Jack Carpenter, who I've said before is one of my favourite magicians. We have Steve Mayhew, we have Eric Dockery, Lee Asher. There's some stuff in here from John Lovick, Doug Edwards. So really some top flight names, and also some names that you may not be aware of, but this is the thing, and this is what was great about the magic magazines that were coming out in that sort of time period, is they were showcasing magicians that weren't necessarily ones that people knew, and to that end, you're getting a mixed bag of views here, and there's some dynamite stuff in here. I remember when I first got it, I kind of skimmed through it. I know I've warned against this before, but I did kind of skim through it. But recently I've picked this up, I've started having a look at it again. So if you want to look at some magic that I'm sure a lot of people aren't doing, then check out Labyrinth. So lastly, not a book, but a booklet. This is Route 52 by Steve Reynolds. Let's talk about this first of all. So Route 52 was one of my first introductions to the magic of Steve Reynolds. I picked up Route 52 many years ago. I think this is actually a first printing of it. I could be wrong, but I picked up this particular copy many years ago. And also the DVD Seek 52, which was Steve's first DVD outing. He has since then released the Monk's Way DVD. He has since then done a Penguin lecture. We are very lucky that we have Steve Reynolds coming to do an academy the Tuesday after I get back from holiday, so a week today that I'm filming this, and I'm terribly excited. And the reason I'm excited is because this is a man that has really studied the work of people like Ed Marlowe, really studied the work of people such as Brother John Hammond, and he really is an authoritative work, a very brilliant sleight of hand performer, a very natural sleight of hand performer. So I've been catching up with a lot of Steve Reynolds material recently, because I'm happy to say I'll be hosting the academy when it films and when it airs. So I've been catching up with a lot of that. Steve also runs the Marlowe Monday shows, which up until I believe again today had taken a bit of a hiatus, but they're up and running again. So I urge you to check those out on YouTube. And check out other videos of Steve Reynolds. In fact, this is a recommendation. Check out a video that he put up recently, which is called Medals Aces, I believe. It's absolutely brilliant. It's a stunning climax to a traditional ace routine, so really worth checking out. Getting back to this book though, this has some amazing stuff in it. It has, I believe, one of the best solutions to a reasoning behind Verner's Travellers that there is out there, based on work previously by Tom Stone. It really is a very good booklet, and there's some dynamite material in here. So this is, I think, out of the 3 books that I've been talking about, the booklet that I'm probably going to be spending the most time reading, not least for the fact of the Academy, but because I just love the thinking, I really do. And I'm sure that, you know, if you check out any of the other published works or the DVDs such as The Monk's Way, Seat 52, like I said, the Penguin Lecture, or indeed Route 52, then you'll see exactly what I mean. You know, it's very clever thinking, very direct thinking, very clear thinking as well. I guess, and this is probably why they're friends. It reminds me of John Carey's work. Great use of subtlety and sleight of hand to produce strong effects. But you know, and we've talked about this before. Again, you take stuff out, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're streamlining or adding subtlety in and it diminishes the effect. John Carey is a master of taking effects and streamlining them, taking out slights, adding slights in where necessary, but you know, mainly sort of streamlining and adding in subtlety. And I think that's what you'll get from Steve Reynolds' work as well. Much the same as John Hammond's work. The idea behind it is very clear plot, very straightforward presentation, and just strong magic. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed what you've heard me say here today. Like I said, it's quite a brief one today, but you know, check out Route 52, check out Labyrinth, and make sure you check out one, if not all 4 of the Ascanio books, because there's a whole wealth of material in these books that, you know, they are there to be explored. They're there to be looked at and to have fun playing around with. So that's it from me today. I wish you a very good week. I am going to go and grab a beer and hope to see you next time on the next Ready Steady Read.